Are your telomeres tired? Do you need more sleep? Telomeres need their sleep. If you are sleepy sometime during the day, or you unintentionally fall asleep watching television or a movie, you need more sleep. Isn't that all of us? Now answer that question again. Are your telomeres tired? Sleep is an activity. It is the most restorative activity we can perform. Sleep sets our biological clock, regulates our appetite, heals and organizes memories, and refreshes our mood. A regular sleep schedule and meal times are crucial, and our internal clocks are highly sensitive. Exposure to light during the day and dark at night is also imperative to keeping the internal clock, on schedule. This internal clock is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and that's hard to say, so I'm going to call it the SCN. It's like a tiny egg in the nest of the brain's hypothalamus. That's another tricky one. You have homework tonight. Go to bed earlier. All right, so you can tell that this week is all about sleep. And the book, The Telomere Effect, goes into some pretty specific details. So I'm going to hit on those and encourage you once again to go out and read the book. Okay, so REM sleep is needed to regulate the appetite, and that's REM, R-E-M. So what is that? What is REM sleep? Well, rapid eye movements, higher heart rate, faster breathing, and more dreaming. During this period of sleep, cortisol is suppressed and metabolic rates increase. Did you know that even one night of bad sleep can throw you into a short-term diabetic state? Without enough REM sleep, we can have elevated cortisol levels the next evening. We can also experience changes in the hormones and peptides that regulate appetite and make us think we're hungrier. It's also a proven fact that you remember and learn better when you sleep well. So sleep creates new connections between our brain cells. That means we're learning and stabilizing memories during our sleep. And sleep's healing powers also reduce the emotional charge associated with memories. So what does that mean? It means a painful experience can be remembered without the intense shock or jolt. So depriving ourselves of sleep needed makes our emotions more intense. So once again, you have homework, and it's the same thing as last night. Go to bed earlier. And don't try to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Just increase it by like 5 minutes at a time until you work up to when you really should be going to bed. Have a great sleep. So scientists have begun measuring telomeres in their studies of sleep. So how many hours do our telomeres need? Well, you've guessed, I'm sure, what the scientific research has discovered. Longer sleep equates to longer telomeres. But it's not just length of sleep, it's the quality of sleep. So I'm sure this makes sense to you. But for me, it harkens back to coaching kids for years on practicing and rehearsing music. Habits form so quickly. Practicing incorrectly just reinforces mistakes, and we're better off not practicing at all. The practice that we need to practice correctly, we have to be mindful and present. We have to be present with a piece of music, or even just the few measures that we're struggling with. So how does this translate to sleep? Remember way back on the video I did talking about an evening routine? We need to establish a rhythm, a sleep-wake rhythm, going to bed and waking up at regular times. But still, you're saying, what if I can't sleep even then? I'll ask, do you suffer from the common habit of rehearsing the past and worrying about the future when you lay down? Do you have demons of the night, as they're so called? We have to feel safe, both physically and psychologically. And then, when we can't sleep, not only do the little problems of life begin to become mountains, they also begin to worry about insomnia, right? Isn't that what happens? So tomorrow we'll work on some thoughts to help with that. But for tonight, keep up that rhythm of a regular bedtime and wake time. I'm not going to be able to function tomorrow if I can't sleep. I'm going to look horrible tomorrow. This is ridiculous and it's killing me. Flip, flop, flip, flop. Sound like a typical night sometimes for you? Distorted thoughts as we get more and more tired. Yes? I am challenging you to challenge those distortions. Remember, a thought lasts only 90 seconds unless we engage with it. So, how about this? I don't function great without sleep, but I'll still be able to get things done tomorrow. With a little makeup, I'll look pretty good tomorrow. Sleep would help, but I'm going to be okay. You probably already know to get up when sleep just won't come. But in a cited workshop from the book, that is exactly what is recommended. It's also recommended to do your best to watch your thoughts from a distance. A form of mindfulness, right? Accept your thoughts, let them pass, and let them go. Don't engage. I know that's harder said than done. It's like trying not to engage with your child when trying to reason with them. In the moment, when they're upset and you're upset, you're never going to get them to see reason. Same with yourself. Remember when I said you're only arguing with yourself? It's an exercise in power. Don't try to overpower your thoughts. Let them go. Try this tonight, and tomorrow I'll cite some more strategies from the book. The telomere effect is so good with analogies. So here is one that's great. Your mind is not a car engine. You cannot go full speed ahead right up until bedtime and expect to switch off the ignition and fall into a deep slumber. As the book says, we're more like an airplane. We need a slow descent into sleep, landing as gently as possible. I did a video way back on evening routines, and here's my routine just for an example to review. I begin with a session of yoga. For me, yoga is a combination of exercise and meditation. While I'm drinking my last glass of water for the day, I pick out my clothes for the next day and then take my shower. I like to listen to the Discover the Word podcast while I'm showering. And then once I've indulged in a little pampering with my Shackley lotion and face products, I'm ready to settle into bed. Sometimes I try to read, but it doesn't take long before I'm falling asleep in the middle of a sentence. And sometimes I enjoy the sensation of lying in bed with a body scan from toes to head. You should try it. Go slow. It's an amazing feeling. Here are a few more tips. Get rid of the electronic device about an hour before you try to sleep. The blue light suppresses melatonin, so eat your evening meal at a regular time, preferably at least 3 hours before bedtime. Treat sleep apnea if that is an issue. It shortens telomeres. And lastly, let me say that regular sleep patterns are a group effort amongst your family. You might not be popular with your children, but you must reinforce these things early, and be persistent when they become teens. And yes, this is the teacher in me talking. You as their parent and me as their teacher will like them so much more if you participate in their sleep habits. The weekend is here. It's the perfect time to set up a routine for your upcoming week. All right, so straight from the book, The Telomere Effect, here are some bedtime rituals that might help you. 5 minutes of transition. Meditating, breathing, or reading. That's number 1. Number 2, listen to soothing music. Soothing music calms your nervous system. I have a few playlists saved myself. Chakra, sleep, ocean, trickling streams, even a rain list. Number 3, set the mood of relaxation with dim lighting. A candle, essential oils, with scents like lavender, cedar, or sandalwood. Number 4, herbal teas, chamomile, lavender, rose petals with lemon and ginger. But do this about an hour before you'll be going to bed, or you'll be up all night to go to the bathroom. Bedtime stretches or yoga. You can even try some of these in bed. Gentle rolling of the head and neck. The yoga instructor I use says draw a circle or a line with your nose one way and then the other. A forward bend, sit with a straight spine, legs stretched out fully in front of you. Take a nice, long, deep breath, and on the next exhale, begin bending, stretching your hands towards your feet. You don't have to touch your toes. Your legs can be bent as much as they want. Stay there for 3 cycles of breath, and then gently roll it back up. Child's pose. This pose is so great. Bend your knees underneath you and sit on your feet, either knees together or apart, whichever is most comfortable. Inhale deeply, feeling the breath in your rib cage, and then bend forward, extending your arms out long in front of you again. Stay in this pose for 3 cycles of breath or longer. When you're ready, come back to a sitting position. I would love to hear how you're doing. Leave me a comment and let me know if your sleep is improving. Have a great weekend.